like Saquon Barkley, it's crazy how much it really doesn't change because the offensive line is still the focal point of all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is insane. And that's what I think teams are going to get lost on. Because I think in the next couple of years, D-lines all around the country will just stat pack. Because all the teams are going to be focusing on is getting these crazy good skill players that are coming into the league because they're seeing what the Chiefs are doing and what the Rams are doing with high-scoring points. Even the Saints, 50-point games, and they're going to lose focus on the offensive line because they think they have to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So then the D-lines will then just blow up the O-line, and it'll be a stat pack season in the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they think they have to catch up. Like coaches and GMs are like, okay, these teams are putting up 50 points. We have to have skill players to put up equal or more points. And they're not going to worry about offensive line.
That's not how you win, though.
That's not how you win at all, no. No, not at all. Which is scary. I think we got to look at the draft trends, too. Like, if teams are picking all D-lines in the first 5 or 10 picks versus all receivers.
Well, they're going to be picking what they need. There's going to be quarterbacks taken. There's going to be D-linemen taken. There's going to be wide receivers. I mean, whatever. Yeah. Linebackers.
Yeah.
All right, sweet game.
We did the picks last week. Go back and listen to that one if you want to see our predicted top 5. We'll probably redo that once we get closer to draft day. But Ravens. Oh, let's talk about the Texans. They lost Tyrann Mathieu to the Chiefs on what, like a 4-year something?
3 or 36.
4 years, 36 or 32.
It may have been 433. I don't know.
I thought it was 32 or something like that, but.
And then Kareem Jackson went to the Broncos.
Yeah, and so y'all didn't really have a stacked secondary, and losing Tyrann Mathieu is not helping at all. That's why I said y'all secondary is cheeks now.
No, was signing Tashawn Gibson replaced Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, but Tashawn Gibson is not.
Do you know who that is?
Don't do that. Don't do that to the mic, Nico.
Do you know who Tashawn Gibson is?
No.
Do you know what team he played for?
The Broncos?
No. He was the starting safety for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
The best defense in the NFL.
Not because of him. They're not the best defense. No.
They were. Who was?
That was like 2 years ago.
And last year, too.
Not last year. I had the Jags defense, and I dropped them because they were so bad.
That doesn't mean... Oh, my God.
Dude. Yes.
Yes,
it does.
Usually fantasy points pretty much correlate.
No.
They do completely.
You get the most points, that means you're doing it.
They use the stats from ESPN. What are you talking about?
But what about
even the position ranking?
Points allowed per game or yards allowed per game?
Yeah, they got blown out.
Maybe some teams get a pick 6, but they allow 300 rushing
They
yards.
use the ranking from ESPN. Like, if a defense on ESPN is ranked number 1, it shows up on fantasy that they're ranked number 1.
That's not how fantasy football works.
That's how the ranking system works.
No, it's not, sweetheart.
Yes, it is.
How many points they score in a year. I know how fantasy football works. I've been playing it for the last 8 years of my life.
Then you don't, though.
Oh, my God.
They use the rankings from ESPN.
No, they use
there's
the
not
rankings
there's
of
not
many
two different
points.
rankings. There's not 2 different rankings.
Yes.
No, there's not.
It's
the same app.
No,
it's
matter.
The same.
If the rankings are
system.
different in a PPR, they're different in a standard.
That's why it's the same. I'm not talking about score ranking. I'm talking about points allowed per game. They use the same rank.
What are you talking about? It's
ESPN doesn't watch a game and go, oh, PPR, we got to put this stat, they got to put this stat. They look, okay, this team didn't allow this many points, then any other team over here, they're the number 1 ranked defense. Not fantasy, but then fantasy says, okay, ESPN's using this rank because this defense is the best in the league. Okay, now we can apply it to PPR and the other ones.
No.
Yes, that's how it works.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Oh, my.
They tally up their own score. In certain leagues, certain rules are different than the others.
I'm talking about ESPN right now.
What are we talking about?
I'm talking about ESPN. I'm not talking about like Fox, Fantasy, and Yahoo or whatever. Yahoo may be different. I don't know. I'm just talking about ESPN because that's the one we use.
It goes off the points. The ranking when you go to the
I
waiver
literally
wire
looked it up.
and you look it up, the waiver wire or whatever is set. Points are at the top. If you go to season rankings
I'm not talking
for
about
fantasy
points.
football,
I never said
that's how
anything
they
about
rank
points.
them. At the end of the year, that's how they rank them.
No. On ESPN. I'm just talking about ESPN right now. Okay. All right. Well, moving on from this. Who did the Ravens get? The Ravens
Earl Thomas and C.J. Mosley. No,
Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram. Huge. So what does that mean for the Saints? That means that the Saints cut in half their legs at the running back position. Because now you only got Alvin Kamara, and before they were splitting time, and they always had a fresh running back in, always had fresh legs, and it was hard to stop when you combine that with Drew Brees and their beastly passing offense. I forgot the name of the freaking receiver that they had.
Who? Wait, what team are you talking about?
New Orleans.
Well, who are you talking about?
Can you not do that?
Who are you talking about?
New Orleans.
Michael Thomas.
Yeah. You said Earl Thomas, and I thought, no, that can't be him because he plays corner. But then, yeah, Michael Thomas. Yeah.
Earl Thomas is a safety.
That's what I said.
You said corner.
No, same thing.
No,
They can play both.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know how many times a corner
goes
goes and plays safety in a nickel formation?
Are more like, because that's a nickel safety or nickel
That's what
corner.
I'm saying. You have to be
That's
versatile.
like a hybrid. No,
Yes,
most
it is.
corners are smaller, shorter.
No, they're usually pretty tall and fast.
Let's look it up. Look up the average height of a
Oh
corner.
my
It's like
God,
6 foot.
Nico, you're so.
It's like 6
That's
foot.
tall.
No, it's not. Not for
I mean, not in the NFL, but I'm just saying, like, they're not like freaking Kyler Murray and freaking Russell.
He just keeps hitting his lip.
Yeah, you're making a mess.
You can't argue stupid.
I'm arguing with a brick wall here. You're calling me stupid? I'm literally telling you the facts, and you're like, no.
What facts? What facts
I'm
have you
talking
told
about
me?
ESPN.
Look it up.
I've already have.
For fantasy football,
when we were on
when they
fantasy, I looked up the number one defense, and guess what? It was the exact same on fantasy. Wow. Oh, guess what? The number 2 defense in the league? Oh, wow! It was the same on fantasy! You know what? It's crazy because it follows the exact same trend.
No,
the number 3 defense, number 3 in fantasy. Number 4 defense, number 4 in fantasy. It was crazy. It was so wild.
Will you look that up, please, and please verify?
Jesus, I've already done it.
No, you haven't. I haven't seen anything.
Fucking heck.
Our job's pretty easy this week, isn't it, Seth?
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh
easy.
my God, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
And we're almost done.
It is
It's
insane.
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 I don't think I've said one thing.
Oh my God. We haven't even talked about Le'Veon Bell yet, and you're still blabbing over there about how
Because-
you're wrong.
No, you think
Go
you
ahead.
know fantasy football, but you don't. Not like I do.
Oh my God, Nico. Not like I do. Yeah. Quote of the year from Nico Forlini. Okay. Are the Jets good now? Are the Jets good? Christ alive! Did you die in my bed?
I mean, what? They only got...
Le'Veon.
Okay.
That doesn't mean...
Are the Jets good?
I don't know, dude.
No, they're not.
I mean, we haven't seen him play, so.
He went to a worse team.
Okay, but he's a good player that's going to help a bad team.
It's alright.
There's that look, too.
Together.
Anyway.
Why are you taking a nap? We
said-
can't take a nap on my
I'm
podcast.
not taking a nap right now. I said let's all take a nap together.
What are you doing? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they can
You're
see
all fired.
They could see what was going on if they had a camera, but no. Has anybody?
Speaking of which, I don't think so. Speaking of which, go check out the Patreon. Donate $1 a month. It's literally, you find pennies on the floor that would amount to $1 if you really tried. So we'd appreciate it very much. So go support the show. We'll give you a shout out, and we'll also probably increase the incentive. Just maybe find something to do. So yeah, go hit up Patreon. It's patreon.com/thethrone room. Do that. back to Le'Veon. How good will the Jets be this year?
Not any better.
Well, they have a better running back. So.
Yeah, they'll be better than last year, but they won't. I don't think it's gonna be a game changer for them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they'll make huge. I mean, it's a good first step if they're talking about building a team.
Mm-hmm.
Le'Veon also might not stay there. What was his contract like?
Shout out to my boy Gary Vaynerchuk. He's gonna eventually own it.
Yeah,
He's eventually gonna be the owner of the Jets.
I don't think they signed yet. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So, crazy week in football. As far as trade deals, we got all sorts of different drama going on. Saquon's left on an island in New York. Cleveland, everyone's gonna bandwagon. First of all, I'm not saying that I'm like a bandwagon to Cleveland, but I want to see him win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It'll be good to see him win for a change.
Sure sounds like a bandwagon.
No. I'm not like gonna go buy the freaking jersey and wear it around, acting like I've been a fan for all these years. But it'll be good to see him win. It'll be entertaining.
I mean, if they win the Super Bowl, I'm definitely doing that.
No, I'm not buying a jersey if they win a Super Bowl. I'll root for them in the Super Bowl if it's against New England.
I think everybody would.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say that, like, oh, I'm going to go buy all this merch for Cleveland and, rep Cleveland because that's my hood. No. Like I said, it'd be good to see him win.
My hood.
Rep my hood. You got to let him know. You got to let him know.
This is a Catholic school boy.
Huh?
He's
I didn't
talking
go to
about his
Catholic
hood.
school.
Okay, Christian school.
Yeah, there you go. What are y'all doing over there? Can we have a discussion,
We're
please?
snuggling.
Oh, you want to discuss this? But when Seth licked Nico's legs, there was no hesitation.
You licked
in the
his
conversation.
leg?
When did Seth lick my legs?
When did you lick his leg?
Did you lick my leg?
Why are we licking legs on the show?
Wait, did you lick my
There was
leg?
no hesitation in the conversation. I looked at Seth.
Wait,
You licked his
confused.
leg.
wait, did you lick my
What are
leg?
you doing licking legs on my show?
How do I not know this?
Hey, Chief, what are you doing?
How do I not
What are
know
you
about
doing?
this?
What are you doing?
Like
Yeah,
that.
how did you not know? He licked your leg.
He bent down and licked your leg. Yeah, I was concerned why you weren't reacting.
What? Are you sure?
I was the only one that noticed. Yeah, I'm pretty freaking sure.
What? Why are we licking legs on my show?
Why is he acting like
I
that?
don't know, dude. He's a white,
What are you
He
gonna
went
do?
to a Christian school.
What are you gonna do?
white Christian boy from Texas. Why is he there?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Well, you think there's not white people in other states?
Oh, I just don't think they have a New York accent.
Nah, what do you think? What do you think? You think we don't got immigrants from other states? What are you doing?
No, but they eventually talk like us.
No, they don't. I don't assimilate. Okay. Go ahead. Try. Yeah, go ahead.
Where do you think I'm shooting this?
In the coffee.
Yeah.
In the coffee. Get out of here.
I would have made that.
No, you wouldn't.
I would
It
have.
was over here, Chief.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
My hand was right here.
No, it wasn't.
It was right here.
No.
All right, so we gotta talk about this. Oh, actually, first, y'all have any like weird stories from spring break? Did y'all think of one?
I ate a lot of ice cream.
Okay, shut up, Seth.
I put down like 3 gallons. So one of them was
You already
chocolate
said that.
chip.
You already said that.
The other one was
No,
Wait, what were the other
I'll stop
two?
you right there because you already said that.
No, I forgot. What are the other two?
Oh,
vanilla
sorry, hit the mic.
with magic shell.
Wait, the
And
magic
then-
shell, the type that like freezes
Yeah,
and hardens on
it's
top.
like a dip cone, but in like a bowl. You know what I'm saying?
And then
So it's not a dip cone.
cookie
Not a
two-step.
cone.
It's like a dip bowl.
It's a dip bowl, yeah.
And- Will that complete your order?
What?
Some cookie two-step does sound pretty good right now.
Yeah, right, but it won't.
It's just too
I
I have
much.
30 more days.
So
left.
I was driving back.
And cheese press.
Claire said he read her mind.
I feel like a nuclear.
Oh my god, I have this strange connection to Claire. Claire on the
phone?
Lord
Oh,
mercy.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
You know, let me gauge the room. Keep your hands up.
Keep your
1,
hands
2. Yes, that was a resounding yes.
for cheesy crust. Okay, guys, I get it.
Claire says you read her mind.
Claire?
Claire.
Claire, wait, what was that in? Who's Claire? Go watch Key and Peele. Shout out to Key and Peele. Please give us free money.
Yeah, sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Key and Peele, please. I love you. Hey, no, what are you doing? We're knocking on the door.
There you he was being loud